Hello, everyone. I am Erinn Morgan. I am the editorial director of Contact Lens Spectrum. We are here today to do a live stream recap from the Global Specialty Lens Symposium, which took place last month in Las Vegas. It was an incredible success on the education front and the attendance front. And I am joined today by Dr. Karen DeLoss. I am thrilled to be here with you, Karen. Thank you for joining us to share a bit about this kind of, background on what happened at GSLS and what we can look forward to for next year. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Erinn. Yeah, I'm Karen DeLoss. I'm the vice chair of the GSLS Committee Education and Programming Committee. My full-time job is at the University of Michigan Department of Ophthalmology, where I see patients in specialty lenses. But my heart is in the education part of GSLS, and I love planning it every single year.
It is, well, you do a fantastic job. You and the committee are just incredible. And the quality of the education is clearly known, in the industry as world-class. So thank you for everything you do for the conference. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Erinn.
Yeah, and so we were just talking about this in the back end studio before we came live, but GSLS was really, truly an incredible success on both the attendance and the education front. The theme was new innovations in technology. The conference had almost 1,000 attendees from 38 countries. Like, that just is staggering to me. 38 countries. Yeah. And I believe you told me it was over 200 people, almost 230 that were from other countries.
38 countries, 200, well over 200 traveling from all over the world. It was amazing. It's just a testament to how wonderful and how much people value the meeting.
Absolutely. And people were incredibly engaged. That was one of the things that impressed me the most. I mean, the education was packed. The exhibit hall was packed. People were connecting and networking. And we tried to do a live stream in the exhibit hall, and we did do it, but it was almost impossible because it was so packed and crowded with people who were just talking with exhibitors, talking with each other. It was really, really exciting to see that. So just kind of, that's my perspective, but kind of what's your perspective, Karen, on thoughts on the success of this year's conference?
I think you'll agree, like, there was just this, and this is what I've heard from everyone and the education community, everyone said the same thing. There's just this huge energy this year. We were back to pre-pandemic levels. Everyone it was just this vibe, and it's really hard to describe, but everyone was excited. They were happy to be there. It was fun. And I can't even put a word on it because it was an energy. It was a feeling. It was great.
I think that that's really true. I felt that 1,000%. And it was, people were, I think that's a testament to the connectedness and the engagement, and the education that you guys, kind of craft, and people are really excited to be there to learn and to connect with each other. So that's really cool to hear. What would you say, and the education was just stacked with incredible keynotes and lots of breakout sessions. What would you say are, from your perspective, some of the key highlights?
I always struggle with this question. I mean, so if I wasn't part of the committee, I would still come to this meeting. It's so fun. It's like a giant family reunion in a lot of ways. What stood out for me this year was Nathan Efron's keynote. This is the first year we had a keynote from Australia. He is a leader in the field, and even though a lot of his research pertains to soft lenses, it really transcends all lenses, and it was applicable to everything. And it just shows you that, specialty lenses are not as simple as the lens. It's the process as well. So he gave an amazing, I kid you not, that was my favorite lecture I've ever seen at GSLS. I thought it was fantastic.
It truly was. And I'm going to tease this later, but our April issue of Contact Lens Spectrum is our GSLS recap issue. Nathan was kind enough to do a big recap of his keynote in the issue. So that's going to be a really, valuable issue, because it'll have a lot of the recap from the show, from the conference, as well as Nathan's big, I mean, it's a big, huge feature. So very, that's a keeper for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Well, certainly the education and those keynotes were incredible and just really, really well attended. What would you say is kind of your own favorite part of GSLS?
It's so hard to just pick one thing. I mean, it is so different than any other meeting, right? Because we're just specializing. My favorite part is always, the education, right? Because, everyone is just glued to every speaker. Everyone truly cares about the education, and the educators on the flip side really, really want to deliver quality education. It's hard to pick one particular class. The exhibit hall was just amazing. It was so the networking, I'm a people person. So I would say if I had to pick one thing, I would say the networking exhibit hall was my favorite part.
I think the connections were really, really special. You could see people really enjoying that, brought so much value to the conference for sure. So thank you for that. So how long have you been on the education committee for GSLS? And my question then related to that is kind of how is the meeting, how has this conference evolved in your time on the committee?
So I started in 2018. So was that my 6th, almost 7th year?
Yeah.
We keep evolving. We strive to bring top quality education and cutting edge technology. I personally take it upon myself to make sure that I'm hearing from everyone, good and bad, about what they want to hear moving forward, what kinds of education topics they want to hear about. We've added workshops over the past couple years. This year, we repeated some of the education topics because the feedback we commonly get is that people aren't able to make it to every single lecture. So we kind of piloted this year, repeating a couple lectures so that people would have that opportunity. If they didn't get to go, at 9:00 on Thursday, they could go at 10:00 on Thursday and see that lecture.
Sure, that's great. Yes, that is a very nice component to it for sure. So I just got in my email inbox from work here kind of a promo for GSLS 2025 to approve, to move forward with kicking that off. I mean, we're now only 10 months, 10 months away, 11 and a half months away, or sorry, 10 and a half months away. So, when will the planning for the education committee, when will that planning begin? Kind of any thoughts on new directions that planning may take this year?
So we have already rolled up our sleeves and gotten together. We did our recap. Everyone the education kind of weighed in. Everyone had agreed that it was just a fantastic meeting. One of definitely probably the top 2 since I've been on the education committee. We're already taking feedback from people. We are just in the planning stages to see what we can bring to you next year and how we can make it exciting, but also worth your time.
Definitely. And I'm sure people are looking forward to that already. And it will, again, just to kind of let folks know, if they want to save the date, it will again be at the Horseshoe in Las Vegas, which is really a great venue, and everything's right there. It's so convenient because you come down from your room, the conference is right there. It's not like some of our other conferences where you're, walking a mile or two before you get there. So it's going to be at the Horseshoe, January 15th through 18th, 2025. Registration will open the spring 2024. So folks can go to gslssymposium.com for more information and keep an eye out for those reminders to register and to start planning for that. So I know that soon the call for submissions will come out, right? So when do you anticipate those will go out?
So we're working on refining just tying up the loose ends right now, and we'll probably look for it around April or May for the submissions. My guess is around April, probably early April,
Okay.
for the submission process for the workshops and the breakouts.
Okay.
We traditionally do a call for poster abstract submissions in the fall, so
Okay.
people can watch Contact Lens Today, Contact Lens Spectrum, all of those places, just to look for the call for abstracts coming up.
Perfect. That is fantastic. Thank you for that. And folks, again, keep an eye out for the information to come, but save the date, January 15th through 18th, 2025, for the GSLS Symposium at the Horseshoe in Las Vegas, gslssymposium.com. Thank you so much for joining us, Karen. It is always such a pleasure to chat with you, and I appreciate you sharing all this information with our audience.
Yes, thank you so much, Erinn, for all that you do. And like I said, it's an amazing meeting, and always happy to share.
Appreciate it for sure. And just also a reminder to everyone to keep an eye out for that April issue of Contact Lens Spectrum. It'll be out in about a month, and it will have that GSLS huge recap feature. It was so big, we had to run some of it online. So there's great information and takeaways from that. And then obviously Nathan Ephron's big feature will be in there as well on his keynote. So thank you again, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Thanks so much.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.